Heya people, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we had lunch with these two green-eyed beauties. I feel that's a fair word to say to them. And lunch actually just ended right now. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Putting aside the librarian, this means we might get a run at Hanako again. Happy days. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Can you ever learn to not hide? Well. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the return slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry Yuko, didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine, it happens a lot, I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section toward the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eyes. As I do, I look over the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it, but hoping for something. I mean, I looked there in the first place, and look what I find. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. No! Don't run away. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decided on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. She reads a lot too. You could ask her for recommendations, start a book club. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. Aw, man. I didn't say anything to Hanako. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and homes. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room and to read the books I borrowed. It's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. That's fair. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. All the down the rabbit hole we go, and all those things with like the drugs, and the getting bigger and the smaller, and the fighting cards, and like the Jabberwocky. I start thinking to myself some kind of an Alice too, haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this crippled wonderland. That's interesting. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Yeah, there you go. Still, the isolated location, the overt way the school accommodates. Not accommodates, sorry. Accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly to me. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Iwanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put down the book for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later I fall asleep. Hope for some midnight healing. Keep on rapping about all my daily dealings. I'm sorry, I'll stop now. I'm sure everyone wants to hear Hisao's new mixtape. He's dropping it like it's totally hot fire. I mean, he is the phoenix come back from the ashes. And you must understand, it is out there right now on Hisao's SoundCloud. It's like amazing, incredible, awesome. You know what he calls it? Crippled Wonderland. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Mateo lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students are the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrolls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one else in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break that trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial, but a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can be partly attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune are present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in my thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mateo approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Oh, no. Sorry about the running thing. I did not expect my decision to go that far. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out in the hallway. Mateo stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say, and not knowing what's going on, I just have to wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that, after all. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life, alright? Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me to say, if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get him, I'm sorry. Mateo closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people here have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. Ooh, he just called me out on my bullshit. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, if it's just some act he has practiced many times to guilt-trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Mateo appears to lighten up a little. Satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mateo tapped his chin and raised his eyebrows as he absorbed this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support present, but if it makes them have a higher opinion of me, little lies are okay in my world. Well, yeah. You've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. We wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing next to the layperson, but any of them could be the key to the next big thing. I will keep that in mind. Slavi said Mateo's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is unsurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Mateo pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk at their nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Mateo does not even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the new silence that Mateo and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone in here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally bells cry out, ending the torment. Oh man. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. The class sighs, as one instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to the last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Ooh, Hanako! Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, so I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Oh, no. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an impressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence, probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splintered against paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. That's kinda sweet. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back of the classroom, taking her seat once again. Did we close the Hanako route by doing that one decision to run faster? I hope not. I really hope not. It would be kind of bad for such a decision to have such stupendous outcomes, but it could happen. Oh, sorry, hit something there. I watched Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame, reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat to try to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. Actually, it sounds a little bit louder than that time. People zip by, left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making me feel limp all over. Warm, soft air falls inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn, lazily thinking about what I do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in his room. No. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way. Despite not having one of those weird running prosthetics on, I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing, really. I don't have anything to do with the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect, then you can help me and Ren. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine, I'm not much help either. Emi grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school, quite forcibly. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself, simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe start to climb with her legs, maybe she's finally run out of breath. I go all the way back to the third floor and to the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So is Rin working on that mural still? That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom. And you need me to help with that? Well, Rin told me you'd already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. Many a fetch quest to be had. The room is empty apart from ourselves, and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in the most unorganized fashion. Some look like they've been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing papers are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper flowed in the still air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Amy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emma gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at the toy store, huffing in annoyance. Oof. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second. She can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she feels miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but I can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, she turns it back to me. She begins scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little. After double checking to assure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a hunter's treasure spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. Ooh, that's right. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anchor, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? Well, we seem to be on our route so far, so I guess we'll find out eventually. At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items, and then make our way back to Ren. I chivalrously carry a book of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Don't you understand I'm a gentleman? Although I feign being a friend with a misogynist, but whatever. Rena's really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea, it looks good to me, but with the rain, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe the night nurses hadn't found her. Whoa. And now she's painting again like crazy. You're letting her paint? Really? Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kind of unhinged, so to speak. Emmy giggles at that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness. Unhinged? Oh, you mean she's crazy. We get it. I don't mind it, she's just a little weird sometimes. Fetal position, outside the dorm, in the cold night. That's nothing. On that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with wins. Whatever it is that feels off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rina. And Rina's the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I met. Oh, yeah. Rin is interesting. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Amy giggles as I grasp about her properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it, it just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird, imaginary things populating the spaces between them. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground's littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there, looking very cozy as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drawing spectrum of war paintings, similar to those on Emily's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run on the corridors again? Hisao helped me. Emi points victoriously at me like I'm a trophy to be won, and Rin turns around, following Emi's finger with her eyes, looking in my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and of movement like a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hisao. Thanks for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you've made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. But now you get more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. It's a very nice thing to say. For me, not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance. Their favorite TV shows are cancelled or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. It's alright, Ren. You can break that law. I believe in you. You've broken so many laws of normalcy already. You can break another law, even if it's universal. Right, Emi? No. Unless they're blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see. Blind boy, so he doesn't. See? Ha! 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 You should become an artist. No bad luck. Guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? No, that only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. Is this Kenji? That'd be weird. Anyways, abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize but can't remember the name of. Some weird tune like that. I'm like, how do I not remember this name? I could have sworn I heard it before. It's hard to forget. Emi arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Then she ends up starting to play like paint can Jenga and building pyramids. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, whoops. Emi, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one's Prussian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with Prussian blue paint in it. Don't you get it? Geez, Ren, you're not helping at all. I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I don't know what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. Is it a country? I don't know. Well, none of the blues look more Prussian than the others. The small print of the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There is no Prussian blue here. We need to get more then. I opened my mouth to say that actually we're not both needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Emi's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I waved to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. I'm on the route now. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. I hope. Please. Probably not actually. Well, I'm busy thinking of how weird Bryn is. Emi's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I didn't have to even use my feet. I just floated. Or, no. The floor was comfortable. Frictional. Filled, though. Not that comfortable, I think, in retrospect. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Heart condition, don't forget. Huh? Emi's giving me an appraising look as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. You want me alone? Oh no, I'm just kidding. Comprehension dawns on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everybody can be in shape, you know? Takes all kinds, right? Emi frowns. It's not a particularly good frown, but it's not as good as the one I practice. That is... I should get in shape. Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. Yeah. Wow. This is a chaotic system of a visual novel. Butterfly, in fact. We decide to run faster, and it cements his belief to need to run faster. Wow. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually I wasn't, but it was fun. We awoke his love for running. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emi come to some sort of a decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me? Oh man. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out. In fact, she produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I've got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it to one. So overtime dates and laps, all laid out. Slowly increased from just a few laps a day to, my God, does she expect me to have me run a marathon? Where did she find the time to get this all together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji's onto something here. It seems a bit too much for keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My God, Kenji, if you could see the scheme unfolding. Oh no. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep up a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see, and this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I'll keep running as well. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you just like he asked. You cut on quick, Hisao. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. No, Hisao! Oh well. Rip other roots. All other girls dead. But I've got to at least put up a token resistance to such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you refuse, I'd have to pout. Oh, not the doggy puppy facey, no. And you'd have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarazaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As if to demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that, please. I feel like I just hit a puppy. So it's settled, right? You're gonna be my running partner? Follow the workout and the dietary plan? Dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. Dietary plan. You gotta eat healthy if you could get in shape, you know. Dietary plan. No. Examine the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. Oh right, I forgot to give that to you. Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know how many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan and probably set me up with my future wife. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school, and maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to just cut about everything that I'll be offered at the festival tomorrow. So when does our running start? After the festival. Right after? What if I had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know? I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't that something we're supposed to be doing? I don't remember. And I don't know if you guys remember what we were doing either. But you know, we can find out on the next episode. Because we'll have to end for now. So, if you liked, just leave a like. I mean, if you like which way this is going, it seems that we're on the Emi route. You know, feel free to subscribe and you get to be a main character, just like Hisao is, or Kenji is in this spin-off. Otherwise, I have to say, bye-bye for now.